haven't agreed with everything he's done. For instance, the centerpieces on today's tables. Many of you thought that probably came from Deemer's, one of the oldest floral establishments in South Central Kentucky. No.
We talked about when Gary had the opportunity to come back here, and I saw my old friend Peggy Loughlin out here. Peggy was chairman of the Board of Regents. She called, kind of wanted a personal recommendation. You know, they'd seen his resume, they knew what his career had been like, but they just, you know, most of them up there didn't really know him personally. They just wanted to know what kind of guy Gary was. And Peggy says, just how would you characterize his personality? And I said, boring. And she kind of chuckled and said, but, you know, elaborate a little bit on that. I said, boring as hell.
So he said, Abraham, we're going up to Louisville to talk to a donor, and we need a vote, and I guarantee to get 40 miles off one plug-in. I said, Gary, that's pretty good. So we start driving on up the road. We got to buy a horse cave. He said, you want some coffee? I said, no, Doc, I don't drink coffee. He said, well, I'm going to pull in here. So he pulled in horse cave at the Shell service station, got out, went to the trunk of the car, and pulled out this long extension cord. Me being from Alabama thought maybe it was a Kentucky thing. I didn't know what they were talking about. So he pulled out his extension cord and went over there and said, excuse me, sir. My name is Gary Ransdell, WKU President, American University with international reach. Can I plug up? So he plugged up, and I said, my God, this happened 5 times on the way to Louisville. Abraham, I just saved the university some money. I said, you don't save some more because I'm ready to go here and bust back. I ain't.
You know how you go in your emails where you start out with just a few and then it gets bigger. And none of these are, keep in mind, none of these are saying if it could be done or could you ask someone. Gary Ransdell skips the first question, trust me. He already assumes we're all going to do it and we're all going down the same road with him. Check with our planetarium. They've got to make sure the sun stays positioned in the sky for most of the game. Hold on. And just as we score the final winning touchdown, a full moon appears with those little twinkly stars like in the movies, and maybe one shooting star, just one. The entire weekend will be such a success. Let's call Churchill Downs, and we'll move the Derby here next year. Thanks, Gary.
Actually, when everything worked out back in 1997, and we were walking across campus, conversation, Julie, in your wildest dreams, could you imagine that we would be in this position to be president of our alma mater and have the opportunity to do what we're doing? And she looked at me and she says, Gary, just so you know, you're not in my wildest dreams.